there's definitely a divide in the country. And there's a divide that's on more of a philosophical or theological level. And I want to give one example of that. Truth. What is truth? In particular, absolute truth. I'm talking about truth with a capital T. Absolute truth is what allows me to know that 2 plus 2 equals 4. That it doesn't equal 5. And we have absolute truths because we have a universe that is created by a God of truth. The Bible describes the Word of God, the Logos, the spoken truth, creating the universe. That's described in Genesis chapter 1 and John chapter 1. And we know that God is a God of truth, and we see that in the created world that we live in. In a framework, in a worldview, in a philosophy or a theological viewpoint that accepts and understands and believes in absolute truth, then when you have a disagreement or an argument with another person, it can be a quest towards finding the truth. If one person says 2 plus 2 is 4 and the other person says 2 plus 2 is 5, you can come to an agreement finally finding that, 2 plus 2 is 4. I was wrong when I thought it was 5. Now that we've discussed and I understand mathematics a little bit better, now I can see that it is indeed 4. There are some other philosophies that don't believe in absolute truth, to which I usually ask, are you absolutely sure that there's no absolute truth? Because that's kind of an absolute in itself, right? So self-defeating to think that there's no absolute truth. But whatever, there's some people that think there's no absolute truth. And this is a postmodernist idea. In this worldview, in this ideology, there are no absolutes. There is no truth. There's only your perspective. And there can be infinite perspectives. And everybody's perspective, everybody's opinion, everybody's truth is equally valuable. And it follows from this that the determining factor of what is seen as true is not based on absolute truth, capital T, big truth, but it's based on, who has the power? So if the people in power say that 2 plus 2 equals 4, then that's what it is. Even if there's other people out there that, in their perspective, they think 2 plus 2 is 5, or 2 plus 2 is 3, or 2 plus 2 is giraffe, whatever it is, the people in power say that it's 4, so that's what we're going to go with until the power hierarchies change. So absolute truth in this postmodernist view is actually an illusion that's projected by those that have power. So whatever group is in power believes something to be true, they can project that upon the rest of that culture or that society or other groups of people that are lower in the hierarchy because they're in power. I hope some of this is sounding familiar already, because this is what everybody's talking about on Facebook, though they don't realize it. If somebody disagrees with you on Black Lives Matter or abortion or on who to vote for, there's not let's talk about why do you think differently than I do? Why do you have a different view than I do? Instead, there's this quick accusation of, you're a racist, you're hateful. There's this quick demonizing or dehumanizing of anybody who thinks differently, because that's the only solution that you have. In a postmodernist framework, you can't sit down and argue and debate and use reason and logic to find the truth in the matter, because there is no big T truth. There's no absolute truth. So the only way for you to prove that you are right is to use power to eradicate or silence or remove everybody who disagrees with you. Let me say that again. In a postmodernist worldview or framework, since there is no absolute truth, capital T, absolute truth, the only way for you to prove or to know that you are right is to silence, remove, eradicate, destroy everybody who disagrees with you.